The Evolution of Elegance, a journey through the history of Royal Tunbridge Wells. Chapter 1. The Spring of Destiny. In the heart of Kent lies a town steeped in the mystique of its genesis. It was the early 17th century, an era unfolding with tales of discovery and intrigue. The story of Royal Tunbridge Wells begins with a fortuitous moment, a moment when the fate of this region was forever altered by the steps of one man, Dudley, Lord North.
This aristocrat, known for his adventures and pursuits, found solace in the untouched wilderness of the south of England.
During his retreat from the bustling life at court, Lord North stumbled upon a hidden gem, a natural spring bubbling with ferocity and whispers of mineral richness. To those who passed through, it was but another patch of wild scrubland, but to Lord North it became apparent that this spring was special. Word quickly spread about the healing properties of this chalybeate spring, with its water rich in iron, famed to restore vigor to the body and soul. As news of this remarkable discovery disseminated through the countryside, it began enticing visitors who yearned for remedies beyond the constraints of contemporary medicine. The spring's magnetic pull transcended social boundaries, drawing the curious and the ailing, each intent on sampling its rejuvenating waters. With each visit, the transformation of this rustic retreat began in earnest. Soon enough, humble structures arose around the spring. Initial offerings were minimal, simple wooden pump rooms and modest lodging. But as the reputation of the waters grew, so did the aspirations of the town's founders. The burgeoning spa became a favoured retreat of the English gentry, and those keen on a fashionably secluded holiday, thus setting the stage for a metamorphosis that would define the very character of Tunbridge Wells. The town's charm was more than just its restorative waters. The scenic beauty of the countryside mingled effortlessly with nature's handiwork to captivate visitors, while the verdant landscape provided a serene backdrop for these pursuits of leisure and well-being. This fertile ground planted the seeds of elegance that would continue to flourish as Tunbridge Wells embraced its destiny as a spa town. By the closing of the 17th century, Tunbridge Wells had established itself as a destination of genteel refinement. The interplay between the pastoral beauty and the allure of its medicinal spring ensured a steady flow of visitors, laying down the canvas upon which further tales of grandeur and prestige would unfold in the centuries to come. It is here, at the dawn of the 18th century, that the town's next grand chapter began to take form, one that would see it blossom into a cultural and social hub of the highest order. Chapter 2. The Georgian Ascent. The dawn of the 18th century ushered in a golden era for Tunbridge Wells. With the chalybeate spring firmly established as a cornerstone of its identity, the transformation of the town from rustic retreat to fashionable destination gathered pace. The Georgian era, marked by societal refinements and cultural ascension, provided the perfect backdrop against which Tunbridge Wells could elevate itself in both prestige and charm.
As the gentry and aristocracy flocked to the town for respite and recreation, the landscape began to change, subtly at first, then with grand ambition.
The construction of the pantiles marked a significant chapter in the town's evolution. This elegant colonnaded walkway, lined with shops and eateries, became the epicenter of social life in Tunbridge Wells.
Envisioned as a place of gathering and commerce, the pantiles offered visitors a delightful promenade for leisurely strolls, exchanges of gossip, and encounters with both familiar faces and new acquaintances.
The social calendar brimmed with activities, and the assembly rooms emerged as yet another jewel in the town's crown. Lavish balls, gatherings, and theatrical performances turned Tunbridge Wells into a vibrant beacon for the arts. These venues witnessed the fashionable set arriving in coaches, adorned in their finest attire, eager to partake in the joys of music, dance, and high society. It was a time of burgeoning creativity that wove an intricate tapestry of cultural flourishing, allowing the town to bask in its newfound grandeur.
Yet beneath the surface of elegance lay the intricate interplay of human desire and ambition. Local entrepreneurs, sensing opportunities embedded within the influx of visitors, expanded their ventures with accommodations and services.
Craftsmen and artisans, renowned for their skill, capitalized on the demand, producing exquisite creations that found places of pride in the homes of discerning visitors.
Tunbridge ware, a local specialty of wooden items with inlaid mosaic or painted designs, became highly prized as a token of the town's craftsmanship and allure.
As the 18th century progressed, the stage of Tunbridge Wells was graced by an eclectic mix of eminent figures. Among them were royalty, celebrated writers, and eminent artists. Individuals, such as Queen Anne and esteemed poet Alexander Pope, found solace and inspiration in the tranquil beauty of the town. Their visits, documented and celebrated, added layers of sophistication and appeal, further cementing Tunbridge Wells as an intellectual haven.
Despite its connection to the past, the town was not immune to the winds of change sweeping through England. The gradual mechanization of industries and evolving societal norms hinted at transformations yet to come.
Tunbridge Wells was on the cusp of another critical juncture in its history, the arrival of the railways. Chapter 3. Tracks of Progress. The mid-19th century heralded a transformative era across Britain, and with it, Tunbridge Wells would once again find itself at the confluence of tradition and modernity. The arrival of the railways changed the dynamics of travel forever, making journeys quicker, more accessible, and available to broader segments of the population.
What was once the exclusive domain of a privileged few now opened to new travellers, adding fresh dimensions to the life of the town.
The extension of the railway line to Tunbridge Wells in 1845 proved revolutionary. The iron tracks forged a path for economic prosperity, allowing goods and visitors to reach the town with unprecedented ease. The impact was immediate and profound. New hotels and guest houses sprang up to accommodate the burgeoning number of visitors, while local businesses expanded their offerings to cater to a diverse clientele.
The cultural scene became more vibrant than ever. The assembly rooms, already a cornerstone of Tunbridge Wells' social life, experienced a renaissance. Performances grew in scale and complexity, drawing celebrated artists and actors from afar.
Concerts, lectures, and exhibitions were held frequently, fanning the flames of intellectual curiosity and artistic expression.
Despite these winds of change, the spirit of Tunbridge Wells remained rooted in its commitment to elegance and refinement. The Pantiles, with its thriving marketplace and cosmopolitan air, embraced both the new and the old, a symbol of the town's balance between preserving its historic charm and fostering contemporary growth.
Among the notable figures who graced Tunbridge Wells during this era were illustrious authors like Charles Dickens, who drew inspiration from the town's unique character for his vivid storytelling.
The playwright and novelist William Makepeace Thackeray found creative sanctuary here, weaving elements of its genteel aura into his tales of societal satire.
As the Victorian era flourished, so too did Tunbridge Wells, with its landscapes dotted by magnificent public parks and gardens. Highlights such as Calverley Grounds and Dunollen Park offered verdant escapes for residents and visitors alike, providing the perfect settings for leisurely strolls, picnics, and afternoon teas.
These spaces contributed to the quality of life that defined the town, a blend of natural beauty and cultivated grace.
Yet, even as the town enjoyed prosperity, Tunbridge Wells faced the vicissitudes of history that marked the close of the 19th century and the dawn of the 20th.
Changing societal norms and global conflicts foreboded inevitable trials and transformations still unfolding.
Through it all, the spirit of Tunbridge Wells endured, rising with fortitude to navigate the complexities of the burgeoning modern age.
Chapter 4. Trials and Triumphs. As the 20th century unfurled, Royal Tunbridge Wells stood upon the precipice of unprecedented challenges and change. The First World War cast its shadow across Europe, a conflict that reshaped the social fabric of nations and communities alike.
Residents and visitors of the town felt the reverberations of the global tumult. Young men were called to arms, leaving behind their tranquil spa town to serve in distant lands.
The war brought both hardship and unity, as Tunbridge Wells adapted to the demands of wartime and endured the generational impact of loss and resilience.
Emerging from the aftermath of conflict, the town, like so many others, sought renewal and restoration. Despite the scars left behind, Tunbridge Wells emerged with its core identity intact, proving to be a haven for those in search of solace during peacetime.
The tradition of hospitality never waned, and the tranquil reinvigoration from spa visits once again proved their worth.
The onset of the Second World War brought further trials, yet once again, the people of Tunbridge Wells pulled together with a shared resolve and solidarity.
Air raids and rationing became everyday realities, yet they fueled an indomitable spirit of courage and perseverance.
Many historic buildings survived these years, preserving the essence of the town's rich past even amidst the chaos of the present.
Post-war modernization introduced new challenges and opportunities, reshaping Tunbridge Wells as it navigated the waves of innovation and reconstruction.
Infrastructure improvements buoyed the local economy and precipitated a housing boom, yet never at the expense of the town's commitment to preserving its historic architecture and character.
Although the spa town's allure now lay alongside the conveniences of contemporary life, the verdant parks and gardens remained essential sanctuaries, offering continuity for generations to come.
Landmarks such as the pantiles and historical sites stood resilient, testaments to a town that managed to navigate change without losing its soul.
Chapter 5, Modern Majesty. The dawn of the 21st century found Royal Tunbridge Wells in a state of reflective balance, embracing progress yet cherishing its heritage. The town had managed to evolve with the times, maintaining its status as a beloved destination while fostering a community proud of its storied past.
Modern Tunbridge Wells struck a harmonious blend between old-world charm and new-world convenience.
Its cobblestone streets witnessed the footsteps of both discerning visitors and local families, each exploring the town's rich cultural offerings.
The pantiles continued to thrive as a vibrant hub of life, with bustling markets, artisanal shops, and charming cafes attracting people from near and far.
Contemporary Tunbridge Wells was a tapestry woven with the tales of its illustrious history, yet alive with the promise of new stories being told. Now more than ever, the town invited visitors to explore its myriad wonders, from the elegance of historic architecture to the tranquility of its lush green spaces.
The cultural scene flourished, with festivals and events filling the town's calendar.
The annual Tunbridge Wells Literary Festival celebrated the town's connection to the written word, drawing authors and readers alike.
The Assembly Hall Theatre hosted a diverse array of performances, from classic plays to modern musicals, catering to varied tastes and preferences.
Through it all, Royal Tunbridge Wells remained a town where history was not just preserved, but lived.
The people, bound by the narratives of those who came before, continued to nurture the spirit of hospitality that had defined the town for centuries.
In this journey through time, Royal Tunbridge Wells emerged not just as a destination, but as a haven for those seeking to connect with something greater than themselves, a Jolza, a graceful confluence of nature, culture, and community.
Visitors and residents alike found solace here, wandering its timeless streets, basking in the warmth of its legacy, and discovering the stories that whispered through the cobblestones.
Through vivid storytelling, the evolution of Tunbridge Wells unfolded in layers of history and humanity, each chapter adding depth to the portrait of a town that had navigated centuries with elegance and grace.
Whether they came drawn by the storied waters, the allure of its cultural tapestry, or the whispers of history etched in every corner, all who encountered Royal Tunbridge Wells left enriched by its timeless resonance and inspired by its journey.
And so, the evolution of Elegance continued, marked by reverence for the past and enthusiasm for the future.
Royal Tunbridge Wells stood as a beacon of English charm, a testament to resilience, beauty, and the enduring power of a well-told story.